So you're moving to Phoenix and you keep hearing about the East Valley and the West Valley. And honestly, this might be the single most important decision you make when relocating here to Phoenix, because here's what no one tells you. Choosing the wrong side could cost you $150,000 in home equity, add an hour to your daily commute, or it could put your kids in schools that aren't the right fit. And really, that's not an exaggeration. I'm Renee, the Realtor, your relocation specialist. And people who are desiring to relocate to Phoenix reach out to me weekly. If this is you, I want to give you a copy of my relocation guide where you'll find everything you need to know about relocating to Phoenix. Just click the link below in the description box, okay? Now, in this video, we're going to break down everything. Home prices, schools, commute times, lifestyle, jobs, entertainment, all of it. By the end, you'll know exactly which side of Phoenix is your perfect match. And bonus, I'm even going to tell you which side of town is the better bang for your buck. So keep it locked right here. Before we dive in, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on the notifications. I post videos like this every week. And if you're planning on moving to Phoenix, if you're planning to relocate to Phoenix, you do not want to miss the insider information that could literally save you tens of thousands of dollars. All right, so let's jump into this East versus West debate once and for all. Okay, first things first. Let me explain what we're actually talking about here, because this confuses a lot of people. Phoenix is in what we call the Salt River Valley, or better known as Valley of the Sun. And somewhere around I-17 and Central Avenue, we've got this unofficial dividing line between East and West. The West Valley includes cities like Goodyear, Peoria, Surprise, Glendale, Litchfield Park, Avondale, and Buckeye. The East Valley includes cities like Scottsdale, Gilbert, Chandler, Mesa, Tempe, and Queen Creek. Now, here's the interesting part. These aren't just geographic labels. They represent completely different lifestyles, price points, and community vibes. Think of it this way. The West Valley is like Phoenix's younger, more ambitious side. It is growing fast. We're talking about some of the fastest growing cities in America right now. Lots of new construction, newer development, generally more affordable, and this exciting energy of communities is still building their identity. The East Valley is the established overachiever. These cities have been around longer. They've got more developed infrastructure, established school districts with track records, tech company headquarters, and yes, higher home prices. But here's what matters. Neither is better or worse. They're just different. And the right choice depends entirely on what you value and what stage of life you're in and what you're looking for. Are you a young family prioritizing school districts? Are you an empty nester looking for golf course living? Maybe you're a tech professional who needs a short commute, or perhaps you're a remote worker who wants the most house for their money. All of these factors matter. Let's talk about money, because this is usually the deciding factor for most families. So as of February 2026, the monthly median home price in the West Valley are Goodyear is $485K. That's up about 1% year over year. Surprise is at $420K, the most affordable right now. Peoria, approximately $543,000, the premium West Valley option. Glendale is approximately $432K. Litchfield Park, $560K. This is our luxury West Valley. Now, compare that to East Valley. Mesa is at $490K, the most affordable in the East Valley. Chandler, approximately $667K. Gilbert, approximately $567K. This is a premium family-friendly option. Tempe, $560,000. It's urban near ASU. Scottsdale, $1.2 million. This is our luxury market. Now, did you see what just happened here? If you're comparing similar premium areas like Peoria in the West Valley to Gilbert in the East Valley, you're looking at $124,000 difference. That's $124,000 more equity you could have, a lower monthly payment, or more house for your money. The West Valley has more affordable options. So let me make this really practical. A $543,000 home at 6.5% interest rate with 20% down, that monthly payment is about $2,812. A $667,000 home, same terms, monthly payment is about $3,439. That's $627 more per month, which equates to about $7,500 per year. Now, over 30 years, that's approximately 226K additional payments for the same square footage. Now, I'm not saying the East Valley isn't worth it. For some people, it absolutely is. But you need to know what you're paying for and whether those benefits matter to you. Now, some other cost differences to consider: property taxes, which are actually pretty similar across both valleys, about 0.6 to 0.8% of assessed value. Arizona is a tax-friendly state overall. HOA fees are not a huge difference between the two regions. Utilities are similar across both valleys. Insurance is about the same as well, and both valleys have low wildfire risks. Now, for your day-to-day living expenses, groceries slightly higher in Scottsdale and Gilbert. Dining out, the East Valley has more upscale options. Gas, typically cheaper in the West Valley. Entertainment, both have plenty of options. Bottom line on costs, the West Valley offers more house for less money. The East Valley costs more, but you're paying more for established communities, better schools, which we're going to get to in a second, and proximity to major job centers. All right, let's talk about schools, and I just want to say this up front. The East Valley has the edge here, but let me break down why and where the West Valley actually holds its own. The East Valley has some of the highest rated school districts in the entire Phoenix metro. There's Scottsdale Unified School District, which has multiple 9 and 10 rated schools. There are strong programs across all grade levels, and it's known for excellent STEM programs. Gilbert Public Schools, consistently high ratings in the 7 to 9 range. It is a growing district with new facilities, and there is strong community support. Now, there's also Chandler Unified School District, highly rated, especially at the elementary level. It has tech-focused programs, which, makes sense with Intel being nearby. And there's a good mix of traditional and charter options. Speaking of that, charter options, Basis Chandler and Basis Scottsdale, these are nationally ranked charter schools. These schools have extremely competitive academics, and they are college prep focused. Now, Mesa is interesting. It's a huge city, so school quality varies a lot by neighborhood. You've got some excellent schools in East Mesa and some average schools in other areas. This is why I always tell clients, don't just look at the city, look at the specific neighborhood and the school boundaries. Now, the West Valley is improving, but overall school ratings are more mixed. There's Peoria Unified School District. This is the crown jewel of the West Valley. It has multiple highly rated schools. There's Basis Peoria. It has a 10 out of 10 rating. It is a nationally ranked charter school, and it has similar quality to East Valley school districts. There's Litchfield Elementary School District, also has excellent ratings, about 9 out of 10 in average. It serves Litchfield Park and parts of Goodyear. It's a small district but has a strong community. Dysart Unified School District, which is a surprise, more mixed ratings, about 5 to 7, about in the 5 to 7 range. Some excellent schools, some average, and it's improving with growth. Agua Fria Union High School District, this is Goodyear's high schools, average ratings in the 5 to 6 range. This is the weak link for Goodyear families. Now, here's the reality. If your top priorities is schools, then you're probably going to end up in the East Valley, specifically Gilbert, Chandler, or Scottsdale. Or if you're set on the West Valley, you need to be in Peoria or specific parts of Goodyear that feed into Litchfield Elementary. But here's the trade-off. In the East Valley, you're paying $600,000 or more for a home in a top school district. In parts of the West Valley, like Peoria, you can get similar school quality for a home price at about $510,000. Now, honestly speaking, don't let the school ratings alone drive your decision without looking at the full picture. A good school is important, but so is house affordability, having a reasonable commute, and living in a community that matches your lifestyle. And speaking of lifestyle, let's talk about what you're actually going to do in these places. Let's talk about what your actual life is going to be like, because this matters just as much as home prices and schools. Now, the West Valley wins here because it has absolutely incredible outdoor access. There's Lake Pleasant Regional Park. This is in the Peoria area. It has a 10,000 acre lake where you can go boating, jet skiing, fishing, and camping. This is a game changer, especially for those who love the water. You could even take your boat out after work. There's also the White Tank Mountain Regional Park. This serves the Surprise and Goodyear area. There's hiking, mountain biking, petroglyphs. It is less crowded than East Valley spots. The Sonoran Desert scenery here is simply stunning. There's Estrella Mountain Regional Park, which is in Goodyear, 20,000 acres of desert. You can take advantage of horseback riding, hiking, biking, and of course, it also has amazing views. Now, as far as the East Valley outdoor recreation is concerned, there's Usury Mountain Regional Park, which is in Mesa. Great hiking and mountain biking. Wind Cave Trail is popular. There's Salt River, which is in East Mesa and Scottsdale. You can go tubing in the summer, which is an iconic Arizona experience. There are wild horses, and you can go kayaking and rafting. There's McDowell Sonoran Preserve, which is in Scottsdale. Over 30,000 acres of pristine desert, over 200 miles of trails. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, honestly, both valleys have fantastic outdoor recreation. The West Valley has better lake access, and the East Valley has more mountain trails. Both have perfect weather 8 months out of the year. Now, let's talk about the dining, shopping, and entertainment. The East Valley advantages. Scottsdale is the entertainment capital of Phoenix. There's Old Town Scottsdale, where you can experience the nightlife, art galleries, and restaurants. Scottsdale Fashion Square Mall, of course, luxury shopping. Scottsdale also has a world-class dining scene, and Scottsdale also has plenty of art walks and cultural events. Downtown Gilbert, it is a charming downtown area with local restaurants. In the Heritage District, you'll find farmers markets and other community-focused events. In Tempe, Mill Avenue, this is the college town vibe since it's right next to ASU. There is Tempe Town Lake, where you can paddleboard and take advantage of other events. And as I just mentioned, there's ASU, of course, which brings cultural diversity. Now, in downtown Chandler, this has a growing restaurant and brewery scene. There are local shops and galleries. West Valley entertainment includes Westgate Entertainment District, which is in Glendale. There's State Farm Stadium, where the Cardinals play. Desert Diamond Arena, where you'll find Coyotes hockey. There are a ton of restaurants, bars, and you can definitely get your fill of shopping. Concerts and events are also at Westgate. Let me say this as well. Just remember, you can also go-kart racing at Andretti and play golf at Topgolf, play pickleball at Chicken and Pickle, or get some rounds of miniature golf at Popstroke. P83 Entertainment District, which is in Peoria, there are movie theaters and restaurants, and even an indoor ice skating rink. There are plenty of things to do at both Westgate and P83. There's also spring training. West Valley has more spring training facilities, Goodyear Ballpark, Surprise Stadium, and the Peoria Sports Complex. If you're a baseball fan, you have plenty of options. Now, the honest truth, the East Valley, especially Scottsdale, has a more developed entertainment scene, more upscale restaurants, more nightlife, more cultural events. The West Valley is building its entertainment options and catching up fast. You can always find something to do in the West Valley as well. The lifestyle vibe in the East Valley is more established, polished, higher end shopping and dining. There is a tech professional culture. It is very active, health conscious community. And it's more walkable in certain areas like Scottsdale, Tempe, and downtown Gilbert. The West Valley vibe, more family oriented. It feels more like a suburb. It's growing and developing fast. It's outdoor recreation focused, more affordable. It's casual. However, it's car dependent. It has less walkability. I always tell clients, if you want a more urban, polished lifestyle, choose the East Valley. If you want a more relaxed, spacious, outdoor-focused lifestyle, choose the West Valley. Neither is better, they're just different. All right, let's talk about commutes, because if you're working even in the office, even part-time, this is going to affect your quality of life every single day. Here's where the jobs are concentrated. In the East Valley, the job hubs include Price Corridor, which is in Chandler. You got Intel, Microchip, Northrop Grumman. In Tempe, State Farm, Wells Fargo, ASU, of course. In Scottsdale, there's GoDaddy, Axon, and healthcare. In Central Phoenix, you have government, finance sectors, law firms in downtown Phoenix. In Midtown Phoenix, you'll find healthcare like Phoenix Children's Hospital and Mayo Clinic. West Valley job hubs include Luke Air Force Base, which is a major employer. In Peoria, there's TSMC, a huge new employer. In Goodyear, Amazon, Microsoft data centers. In Glendale, there's healthcare and the State Farm Stadium area. And looking at the commute times from the West Valley, and we're going to be real about this, okay? From Goodyear to downtown Phoenix at morning rush hours, about 40 to 50 minutes via the I-10. Off-peak is about 30 minutes. It's doable, but on a daily basis, not fun at all. From Surprise to downtown Phoenix, that morning rush hours, about 50 to 65 minutes via the Loop 303. This is the longest commute. Most people in Surprise work locally or remotely. From Peoria to downtown Phoenix, that morning rush hour is about 35 to 45 minutes via the Loop 101. It's the shortest West Valley commute, really depending on which part of Peoria you reside in. But overall, it's more manageable for daily commuters. From Peoria to Scottsdale, that's about 45 to 55 minutes. It's a cross-valley commute. It's possible, but really not ideal. Commute times from the East Valley, from Gilbert to downtown Phoenix, that morning rush hour is about 35 to 45 minutes via the Loop 202. Off-peak, you're looking at 25 to 30 minutes. It's very manageable. From Chandler to downtown Phoenix, that morning rush hour is about 30 to 40 minutes. One of the better commutes, you'll have easy freeway access. From Scottsdale to downtown Phoenix, morning rush hours about 25 to 35 minutes via the Loop 101. The shortest commute of all. Also is close to Tempe jobs. Now from Mesa to downtown Phoenix really depends heavily on which part of Mesa. If it's West Mesa, you're looking at 25 to 35 minutes. East Mesa is about 40 to 50 minutes. Now here's the bottom line. If you're commuting to downtown Phoenix or Scottsdale daily, the East Valley makes way more sense. You'll save 30 to 60 minutes per day compared to the West Valley. As a matter of fact, let's do the math on that. An extra 45 minutes per day equals 3.75 hours per week Times that by 50 work weeks, you're looking at 187.5 hours per year. That's almost 8 full days per year sitting in your car. Is the West Valley's lower cost worth 8 extra days of commuting? For some people, yes. For others, absolutely not. But here is what's changed everything: remote work and hybrid work. If you're fully remote or only going into the office 1 to 2 days per week, the West Valley suddenly makes way more sense. You get more house for less money, and you're only dealing with that commute occasionally. The West Valley is also growing its own job market. TSMC in North Phoenix, but Peoria and the West Valley are definitely benefiting from it. TSMC is a $40 billion semiconductor plant creating thousands of jobs. There are Amazon facilities, multiple locations throughout the West Valley. Microsoft has data centers, and in healthcare, hospitals and medical centers are expanding. More and more people are working locally in the West Valley and not commuting at all. The East Valley has always been strong on jobs. For the tech corridor, we have Intel, Microchip, and a growing startup scene. In aerospace, there's Boeing, Northrop Grumman. In healthcare, there's Banner, Honor Health, and in finance, Wells Fargo and American Express. So here are my recommendations. If you're working downtown or working in downtown Phoenix or in Scottsdale, East Valley. If you're remote or hybrid, like 2 days a week or less, West Valley. This could save you money. And if you're working in the West Valley, like at Luke Air Force Base or TSMC, for example, definitely the West Valley. If you're working in Chandler or the Tempe area, it's a toss-up. Either one works. Let's talk about your home as an investment, because for most people, this is the biggest financial decision you'll ever make. Over the past 10 years, both valleys have seen strong appreciation, but with different patterns. The East Valley, like Gilbert, Chandler, and Scottsdale, 80 to 95% appreciation over 10 years. It's more stable with steady growth. Higher starting prices meant larger dollar gains. In the West Valley, like in Goodyear, Surprise, and Peoria, 90 to 110% appreciation over 10 years. Higher percentage gains due to lower starting points, more volatility during market shifts. Overall, the market across the valley is normalizing. The East Valley has more seller markets, but we are seeing some great buying opportunities in the West Valley. When we consider the valley as a whole, it's more of a balanced market, which is actually healthy for long-term growth. Both the West Valley and the East Valley have future growth potential. Some West Valley growth drivers include TSMC semiconductor plant, which we've already discussed, thousands of high-paying jobs. The supplier ecosystem will follow this as well. This is huge for West Valley growth. The population growth, Goodyear is one of the fastest growing cities in America. Surprise, Buckeye, and Avondale are all expanding rapidly. More residents equals more demand. Now the infrastructure investment, new freeways and new schools are being built. Commercial development is following residential growth. There's also more land to develop. The West Valley has room to expand, and new master plan communities are coming online. Some East Valley growth drivers include the tech industry expansion, Intel continuing to expand in Chandler, growing startup scene in Tempe and Scottsdale, remote workers relocating for quality of life. There is a limited supply in the East Valley. There's less land available for development, which drives up prices over time. The East Valley also has an established reputation. This is another growth driver. People know Gilbert, they know Scottsdale, Chandler. National rankings for livability, and the East Valley attracts relocators with higher budgets. Now, from an investment point of view, East Valley equals a safer, steady investment. There's lower volatility, The markets are established, higher price floor, and it attracts buyers even in down markets. The East Valley is better for risk-averse investors. West Valley equals higher growth potential. There is more upside potential. It has more affordable entry points. There are major economic drivers like TSMC. The risk is higher, but it also has a higher potential reward. The West Valley is better for growth-focused investors. If this is your primary residence and you're planning to stay 7 or more years, buy where you want to live. The appreciation difference won't matter as much as your quality of life. If you're investing or plan to relocate again in 3 to 5 years, consider the West Valley for higher growth potential, especially near the TSMC development. If you want the safest investment with steady appreciation, Scottsdale, Gilbert, and Chandler are proven markets. Okay, so we've covered home prices, schools, lifestyle, commutes, and investment potential. Now, let's bring this all together and figure out which side of Phoenix is your perfect match. Okay, so choose the East Valley if schools are your number one priority, you want top-rated districts with track records, education quality justifies the higher cost, you're willing to pay premium prices for Gilbert, Chandler, or Scottsdale schools. You're commuting to downtown Phoenix, Scottsdale, or Tempe regularly. The shorter commute saves you hours every week. Time is more valuable to you than a bigger house. You work in tech, aerospace, or healthcare. Major employers are concentrated in the East Valley. Short commute to Price Corridor or Tempe. You want established infrastructure and amenities. The East Valley has mature communities with proven track records. There's better entertainment, dining, and shopping, especially in Scottsdale. And it's more walkable or has more walkable areas. You want luxury living and upscale lifestyle. Scottsdale offers world-class luxury. There are golf courses, spas, fine dining. You're willing to pay $800K to over $1 million for this lifestyle. You have the budget for East Valley pricing and you want established neighborhoods. Now, who lives in the East Valley? Tech professionals, families prioritizing education, empty nesters in Scottsdale, healthcare professionals, higher income households. Choose the West Valley if getting the most house for your money is important. The $150K to $200K price difference gets you way more space. You'll get bigger lots, newer construction. You're value conscious without sacrificing quality. You work remotely or hybrid 2 days a week or less. Commute isn't a daily concern. You can take advantage of the West Valley affordability. You're working in the West Valley. Luke Air Force Base, TMC, or related suppliers, or even local businesses and healthcare. You love outdoor recreation. Lake Pleasant is a game changer. Also, White Tank Mountain, Estrella Mountains, these are less crowded trails and parks. You want new construction and modern homes. West Valley has more new builds and the latest floor plans and energy efficiency. Everything is updated and new. You want to be part of a growing community. The West Valley has exciting development and growth, including new businesses and infrastructure. It has investment potential as the area matures. A budget of $350K to $600K, you'll find the best value in this price range and you can get more features and space. Now, who lives in the West Valley? Young families, military families, especially with Luke Air Force Base being close by, remote workers from California or a different state, first time and move up buyers, retirees, especially those who are looking to buy and surprise. If you're comparing specific cities, here's my take. Gilbert versus Goodyear. Schools, Gilbert wins significantly. Price, Goodyear is $160K cheaper on average. Choose Gilbert if schools are non-negotiable. Choose Goodyear if you want value and outdoor access. Scottsdale versus Peoria. Lifestyle. Scottsdale is more upscale, better dining, and better nightlife. Schools. Peoria Unified School District is actually comparable. Price. Scottsdale is $400K more expensive. Choose Scottsdale if luxury lifestyle is a priority. Choose Peoria if you want similar schools for half the price. Chandler versus Surprise. Jobs, Chandler if you're in tech. Price, Surprise is $60K cheaper. Schools, Chandler is better overall. So choose Chandler if tech career and you want good schools. Choose Surprise if you want budget friendly with amenities. Mesa versus Glendale. Both are affordable options. Mesa has a better location for East Valley jobs. Glendale has Westgate Entertainment. Both have variable school quality by neighborhood. Now, if you're torn between the two valleys, you may want to consider Tempe. It's a central location, easier access to both valleys. There's an urban lifestyle, plenty of walkable areas. ASU brings diversity and culture. Price, $510K is the median. Ahwatukee, which is in South Phoenix, is technically Phoenix, but close to the East Valley. It has good schools and is family friendly. It's more affordable than the East Valley and it's more established than the West Valley. North Peoria, best West Valley schools, still more affordable than the East Valley. There's Lake Pleasant, you have that access. Now here's my honest advice. After helping several families make this decision, don't let one factor decide for you. Yes, schools are important, but they're not worth being property burden or having a miserable commute. Yes, saving $150K on your home purchase is great, but not if you hate the lifestyle or the schools don't work for your children. The perfect choice is the one that checks the most boxes for you and your family. And that's where I come in. This is literally what I do every day. I help families just like you figure out which valley, which city, and which neighborhood is the perfect match, your perfect match. I know the school boundaries, I know the commute times, I know which neighborhoods are going up in value and which ones to avoid. I know the builders, the master plan communities, and the hidden gems. So here's what you should do next. Step 1, define your priorities. Sit down with your family and rank these in order of importance. Schools, commute time, home price, along with your budget, lifestyle and entertainment, investment potential, and outdoor recreation. Your number 1 and number 2 priorities should drive your decision. Step 2, get your budget crystal clear. Don't just think about the purchase price. Calculate what you can afford in monthly payments, your down payment amount, property taxes, HOA fees, utilities, your maintenance budget. A $500K budget in the West Valley might be the same monthly payment as a $450K budget in the East Valley after all costs. Step 3, visit both valleys. You need to come visit before you decide. What looks great online might not feel right in person. Spend a day in the East Valley. Drive through Gilbert neighborhoods, have lunch in Old Town Scottsdale, check out Chandler's restaurants, drive the commute during rush hour if you're courageous. Spend a day in the West Valley, tour Goodyear and the Estrella Mountain area, visit Lake Pleasant, walk around Glendale's Westgate Entertainment District and Peoria's P83 District. Drive to downtown Phoenix during rush hour again if you're courageous. See which one feels right. Step 4, connect with a local expert. Look, you can do all the research in the world online, but there's no substitute for working with someone who does this every single day. Here's what I do for my relocation clients. First, a free buyer's consultation. We'll talk about your priorities, your timeline, and budget. I help you decide which valley and which cities to focus on. We'll also do a customized home search. I set you up with a search that only shows homes that meet your criteria. You're not wasting time looking at houses in the wrong areas. School boundary research. I pull the exact school boundaries for every property. No surprises about which schools your children will attend. I also do virtual tours for out-of-state buyers. If you can't visit in person, I do live video tours via FaceTime or any other type of platform. You can see neighborhoods and homes before booking a flight. Negotiation and purchase. I negotiate on your behalf to get you the best deal. I guide you through the entire closing process. Now, I've created some resources specifically for relocators, my relocation guide and market updates, which are linked below this video in the description box. I also have plenty of videos on neighborhood tours, house tours, and things to do in Phoenix. Just check out my playlist. I relocated to Phoenix 16 years ago, so I totally understand the decisions you're facing. So seriously, please reach out. Even if you're not ready to buy yet, even if you're just starting to think about Phoenix, I'm happy to answer your questions. There's no pressure, there's no obligation, just good information from someone who knows this market inside and out. I'm Renee the Realtor. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.